Deep in the heart of the forest stood a mighty oak. Its trunk was thick and strong. Its branches reached up to the sky like giant arms. The oak had seen many seasons. It had weathered many storms. It felt proud and powerful. The oak believed it was the king of the woods. All the other trees looked up to the oak. They admired its strength. They respected its wisdom. But the oak often boasted. It would brag about its size and power. It looked down upon the smaller, weaker trees. Near the edge of the forest grew a willow tree. The willow was slender and graceful. Its branches drooped down towards the ground. They swayed gently in the breeze. The willow was humble. It knew it wasn't as big or strong as the oak, but the willow was content. It found joy in the simple things. It loved to watch the birds build their nests in its branches. It listened to the whispers of the wind. The willow understood the rhythm of nature. It moved with the flow of life. One day dark clouds gathered in the sky. The wind began to howl. The animals scurried for shelter. A fierce storm was approaching. The trees rustled nervously. They could sense the danger. The oak stood tall and proud. It refused to be afraid. "I am the oak," it boomed. "I will not bend to any storm." The willow trembled. It knew the storm would be powerful, but it also knew the importance of yielding. The storm broke with a fury. Torrents of rain lashed down. The wind roared through the forest. Lightning flashed, illuminating the sky. The oak stood firm. It refused to bend. The wind tugged at its branches. The rain beat down upon its leaves. The oak groaned under the strain, but it held its ground. "I will not break," it roared. The willow, however, bent with the wind. It swayed back and forth. Its branches flowed with the gusts. Section 5. The Willow's Dance. The willow looked as if it might break at any moment, but it didn't. It was flexible. It adapted to the storm's force. Its leaves danced in the wind and rain. The willow's roots held firm. It knew that sometimes it's wiser to bend than to break. The storm raged on. The forest floor was littered with broken branches and uprooted trees, but still, the storm continued. Section 6. A moment of truth. Then a mighty gust of wind, stronger than any before, slammed into the oak. The oak shuddered. It had endured all it could. With a deafening crack, its trunk snapped. The once mighty oak crashed to the ground. It lay defeated among the other fallen trees. The storm began to subside. The rain eased, the wind died down. The sun peeked through the clouds. Section 7. A lesson learned. The willow, battered but unbroken, straightened itself. Its leaves shimmered in the sunlight. The oak lay where it had fallen. It felt humbled. It had been so proud, so sure of its strength. Now it realized the willow's way was better. It was better to bend than to break. It was better to be humble than to be proud. Section 8. The true meaning of strength. The oak had mistaken rigidity for strength. The willow had shown that true strength lay in flexibility and humility. The willow had weathered the storm because it had adapted. It had yielded when it needed to. The oak had learned a valuable lesson. It learned that it's okay to bend, it's okay to be humble. In fact, these qualities are often greater strengths than sheer size and power. Section 9. Nature's Wisdom. The forest had taught the oak a profound lesson that day. It's a lesson we can all learn from. True strength lies not in resisting change, but in adapting to it. It lies in being humble enough to know that we don't always have all the answers. We must be willing to bend and sway with the winds of change, just like the willow. This is how we weather the storms of life and emerge stronger on the other side.